So now let's try with the two other reactor types, which is the equilibrium reactor and the Gibbs reactor. So we go for the easy one, the Gibbs reactor. Again, click on it. Okay, this is a Gibbs reactor. So it's a Gibbs symbol here, in case you didn't see it. And then I'm going to do the same thing and attach the streams, feed, product. The funny thing about Gibbs reactor is actually needs a second product, but I'm just going to not put it now. And I'm just call this Gibbs feed. So this stream will be exactly the same as a muffin. So I just want to type the same thing twice. So I can click on define from stream. Click on this. Available stream. That's the muffin. You can see the stream conditions here. That's okay. Then you copy everything into the new stream. So that will save you some time. Just going to define the Gibbs reactor. Inlet will be Gibbs feed. Vapor outlet will be SMR 2. And then we need a liquid outlet. So I'm just going to call this like a new stream, Gibbs liquid, type in a new name. You format for it myself. Now I'll just change this name to Gibbs product. And you can see that I did not need to fill in anything else in the Gibbs reactor. The reactor has just solved itself for some reason, right? So let's look at the reactor. What happened to it? Reaction, skip reaction only. Waiting, no waiting, because I didn't specify anything. Then look at the worksheet. So the main difference here is that first, actually there's no liquid product because the liquid product, the flow is actually 0. But when you look at the vapor product, which is a gas product, the temperature is almost double to around 661 degrees. Yeah. What just happened, right? Then we look at the composition of the products. You can see that the composition, right, the hydrogen and the CO actually drop, and the water and the methane actually increase. This means, right, the reaction has actually proceeded in the backwards direction. That means that according to this Gibbs reactor, this reaction is actually happening backwards. So it's actually taking this H2 and CO to reform the methane and water. Same also with this. This reaction actually proceeded forward because it produced more carbon dioxide. So is this actually logical? The answer is no. And the reason why the answer is no is that in real life, in a real reaction, we have catalysts in the reactor, which will catalyze the forward reaction. And that is why we can get the product in real life. But if we are just relying on the Gibbs energy minimization, the theoretical formation would be that the reaction will proceed backwards. So logically, we won't want the reaction to proceed backwards, right? Because you're not producing a product. You're wasting your product to produce more reactant. It doesn't make sense. So this is why the Gibbs reactor must be used with caution to ensure that what you're putting in is actually the correct assumption that the Gibbs reaction works. So in this case, it doesn't. The reason being that the catalyst actually helps to catalyze the forward reaction, and the Gibbs reactor does not consider any catalyst. That's why without the catalyst, the reaction will proceed backwards. So this is the magic of the Gibbs reactor. So it's very good when you're trying to like just get a feel of the reaction, but it's not good when you actually try to model the reaction, even though you don't have to input anything. All right. So the third reactor I'm going to try is the equilibrium reactor. So I'll just put that in here. And again, I can just create a new feed, or I can just take this feed, Control C on my keyboard, Control V. That will also do the same thing. So I'll just open this up. Feed sheet number 2, vapor outlet, I just call it equilibrium product. Liquid outlet, I'll just call it equilibrium liquid, which also doesn't exist, but I will have to give it this stream just to fulfill the requirements. And then I just rename this as EQ feed. Okay, so for equilibrium reactor, it is not under-specified. That means I need to tell it what reactions that it needs to consider. So when I go to reactions, I look at this reaction set and choose the set that I just defined. It doesn't work because the equilibrium reactor requires only equilibrium reactions. So it says the reaction set is not the correct type. So we need to go back to the properties window again. I will go back to the reaction folder. I create a new reaction set. I will create a new equilibrium reaction because the equilibrium reactor only accepts equilibrium reactions. Add reaction. Add one more reaction. So for the first reaction, I'll just upload this for library, the SMR reaction. For the second reaction, I'll just upload again the water gas stream reaction. So you don't have to do the typing again. I just put this in. So it's fully specified and add to fill package. Okay, everything's done. Go back to simulation window. Go back to the equilibrium reactor. Put this in, and automatically HYSYS will calculate everything for us. So let's go back to the worksheet again. Again, the temperature has increased to 659. Composition, again, CO has dropped, hydrogen has dropped, although slightly less than the Gibbs factor. Methane has also increased, which means that the first reaction has again proceeded backwards. So again, this also shows the equilibrium data is not correct because it is not considering the effect of the catalyst, it's just considering the effect of the chemical equilibrium. But the equilibrium data is usually more accurate than the Gibbs reactor. So if you have a chemical equilibrium data or equilibrium reaction, you can put it into the reaction set and then you can use the equilibrium vector to come with the correct, to come with the more accurate result.